Now that you've set up your palette, let's do application. All right, we're gonna start with a blush and bronzer brush. If I have color matched you, I probably recommended this brush and the detail brush. All right. However, if you are somebody who really wants a light application, the shape brush or the blend brush, those are for light applications. I start with my color corrector. That is my darkest color of my foundations. And this color is going to help get rid of and cover up all the redness and darkness that I have going on in my face, okay? Now, I'm using this end because it's going to put on my color corrector in large areas. For smaller areas, I will use the small end of the detail brush. But I have sunspots all around here, so I'm just tapping on a thin, and I mean thin, layer. These are going to be very soft when they're brand new, so you really want to just tap in super lightly, okay? And then I'm just going to stipple. You see how I'm just tapping and moving, tapping and moving. I'm just stippling it. You do not need a lot. And I think that's probably the biggest mistake we make when we first get our makeup. We're so used to putting on a lot of the foundation, but this is a non-traditional foundation, so you only need a little bit. A little goes a long way, okay? And if you're seeing texture, it's going to be a couple things. It's either you haven't exfoliated, you have too much product on, or your foundation is too light. Okay? So any of those things, let's talk. We'll get it sorted. All right, now that I have that on, I'm going to take the small end of the detail brush, go into my color corrector, and get all the little areas that are hard to get to with that bigger brush. Okay, a little darkness around the eyes. We're gonna zap that out too. Now that I've color corrected, I'm gonna go ahead and put on my main shade. Now you can make this all one layer. However, if you're using a lot of color corrector like myself, then a light little, and I mean light, like a barely tap, is gonna be okay as well. Because we're using such a thin layer, if you go over your color corrector lightly, and I mean very lightly with your main shade, you'll be just fine. And it won't be too much, okay? Again, tapping. You see how that's all coming together? Okay. Now my main foundation is done. Let's do the lightest shade. I'm going to take the small end of this detail brush and go right into the lightest shade, okay? Very small amount. Now I color corrected this so I can go ahead and go on in. If it was still dark, I'd still need to color correct, okay? You do not want to put a light shade on that dark area. You want to get that sorted first. But you can go in and put at the lightest amount. Now, I don't go into all those wrinkles because it will just highlight those. I'll go on the outside of the wrinkles and try to get into that little troughty area right here to bring it a little forward, because light brings forward things, okay? You can go on your eyelids and go ahead and brighten those up. Super light handed. We are going for hardly any product up there because that can be a very highly oily area. Okay. And then I always put a little bit of setting powder after I've done that. You can also take a little bit right down the center of your nose. Put a little up here to lighten all that up. And a little on your chin. And a little cupid's bow. Okay. And just keep a super duper light hand when it comes to your lightest shade, especially if you have mature skin. Now this is the Perfector sponge from Seint. It's super soft. I just doubled it in size, squeezed all the water out as much as possible. Let it sit and dry. Add a little bit more while I'm doing my makeup, and then it's ready to go, okay? Because otherwise, if it's too wet, it'll take off a lot of your makeup. Right now, we just want to take off the extra. This is great when you're first beginning, because when you're first beginning, no matter what, you just always seem to put on just way too much product. Even now, I'll catch myself sometimes doing it. So it's just easy to do. And you just tap around, and you just make sure everything, especially around here, okay? And there you go. You're all set. Now let's put on some lip and cheek. I gotta do the eyebrows. All right, so now I'm gonna go into my contour. So you go into your contour, they're a little drier, so you can actually really just kind of tap in there, wiggle around, get on in there. Okay, I'm using the detail brush, and I'm gonna just add it where my cheekbone is. I kind of go on the edge of my cheekbone, but you can go just under the cheekbone, okay? And you just adding a little bit of shadow. It doesn't have to be a dark, dark line. All right, and I just put it on one side of this brush because I find it's a lot easier, and it just hugs that cheekbone like so. And my favorite part for this contour, it's the cheekbones for sure. But then if you are like me and you're in your 50s, you got like something happening here, right? Okay, this is where this comes in really nicely. You just put that on there. And it just puts it in the shadows. Oh yeah, and the chins, okay? In the shadows they go. And it just makes everything look a little more chiseled, a little less droopy, and then blend it down. So it's gonna look a lot better than this over here. Secret sauce. Add a little up here, because this is where you're gonna find all that wonderful depth and dimension that that contour is known for. Depth and dimension. There you go. And just pull it into your hairline. All right. We're almost done. A little bronzer. Let's go. Fluffy end. This is when I use this gorgeous, fluffy, super soft end of the blush and bronzer. I go squeeze it a little bit, so you're just going into the bronzer. Okay. You got it on there. Shake it out. Okay, and then we're just gonna go over this part, like where the sun hits you. Okay, so here, here. Isn't that fabulous? Giving you all that wonderful color. And I do the temples. Okay, and then I always go down to the chin neck area, just so it kind of like all matches. Now my most favorite part is the lip and cheek. So you can have several, you can fill this entire area up with lip and cheek. It's up to you. Again, it's so customizable. So I'm gonna go in with the small end of my blush and bronzer. I'm gonna tap in, not too much, and just start, because here's my contour. I'm gonna just start on top of that contour and just lightly tap in upward motions, okay? And it just needs to go on very light. You can build this up, but I would start really light, okay? And then you could always use a fluffy end just to really soften it like so. So pretty. And you can also use it for your cheeks. You can mix up the colors. I love to mix up colors. I'll use 2 or 3 different colors on my cheeks and my lips at any given time. All right, and there you go. That right there is Seint Application 101. Before we go, I forgot, I was going to show you real quick how I do my eyebrows. I get a little eyeshadow and the line brush, the end of here, how it's slanted. Get a little eyeshadow on the brush, and I just shape and fill them in. So that way, it's super easy. It's all in my compact, and I don't have to like look around for anything else. You see how fabulous this is? And trust me, I do this every day. This is my favorite way to do my eyebrows. It's quick, it's easy, and again, it's all in my hands. So that, my friend, is, I think, super important. I had to come back and share real quick. See what a difference? So at any time that you need a little assistance or have a question or an application, all you have to do is text the number that I give you when you sign up. All right, talk to you soon. Bye-bye.